It wasn't long ago that I made a video about the Fallout TV series that really concerned me. We saw Jonathan Nolan, director, producer of the show, say they didn't set out to make this show for the fans. And that worried me because when you take a look at so many IPs out there today, whether it's video games or books, and they try to transition those to film, that's where they lose a lot of people. They lose it because they're not trying to, you know, cater to the fans, which you need to do sometimes. You need to cater to the fans because that's the core audience you want to hit. Take a look at Halo, for instance. Terrible job in creating the Halo show because they didn't land it with the fans. And that's the problem. You have to land it with the fans. So I was legitimately worried about this show. But after watching the 8 episodes, I have to say I was pleasantly surprised at how well this show has made me feel. Like it's a good show. It's a fun show to watch. Walter Goggins as the Ghoul was fantastic. But that's not enough for people. And despite critics raving about it, 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, 88% from the fans, you have a bunch of people who are saying the show just isn't gay enough. So the Fallout series, I guess, touts itself as it was one of the very first games that allowed same-sex romances. So people were expecting to see that in this show. And when talking to Jonathan Nolan, he, they were asked, will there be same-sex marriage or relationships or romances in this show? And the answer was yes and no. Textual queerness is only fleetingly on screen, and none of the main characters, at least so far, have explored a queer romance. However, the question has been on the minds of Nolan, Robertson, Duarte, and Wagner. So they say, I think queerness embedded into the DNA of the franchise from the beginning, and hopefully the show, Nolan tells Pride. I think it's one of the things that I found so exciting about the games when I played them. My first experience with the franchise, Fallout 3, was the fact that the games felt alive, subversive, and satirical. That you had a real sense that there was nothing safe or restrained about these things, that they felt that they had the texture of the world with them. We've endeavored to try and bring all that feeling, all that tone with us into the series. You see, that is what is ridiculous at this point, because if you think about it, okay, this show doesn't need that. We watched 8 episodes of a strong female character that wasn't in our face like, look at me, I'm a woman, hear me roar. It was, she had feelings. She wanted to find love. In the very first episode, she's like, I want to be married. I want to have a purpose. I want to have children. She wants to have a purpose as a woman. And then when she has to go out on her journey into the wasteland, into the apocalyptic world, she starts to realize that she is so much more than that, which is great. That is a great way to show women how women can be strong and powerful in movies and shows and such. So I think they did a fantastic job with that. But that just isn't enough for the DEI crowd. It's always, we want more, we want more, we want more. They're upset that she wasn't queer. They were upset that she had a romance with a male actor or a male character on the show. Which that was kind of the premise. That was part of her journey. That was part of her overall plot, was that she wanted to find a man. But they're not happy with that. They're upset with that because you give this alphabet crowd an inch and they want a mile. And it's nothing that we can do to just temper those expectations. Look, the alphabet crowd makes up like 3% of this world. That means for every 100 characters in a show, you're looking at 3 characters maybe being queer. Like, that is really almost how you would have to make it. And that's just even a maybe at that point. Like, not every character, not every show has to push, the queer angle or the DEI angles of anything. You're allowed to have shows about strong white women. You're allowed to have shows about strong white men, strong black men, strong black women. Like, you can do that and not showcase everything else. Yes, there are shows out there that have queer and show the queer angle. It is what it is. But this show didn't need it. And it just goes to show that, no matter what you try and do, you're not going to make anybody happy. And it's just getting out of hand at this point in time. Look, I thought the show was fantastic. I think it was a great show. I'm looking forward to season 2, and I hope they don't pander and cater to this crowd and start throwing in a bunch of queer characters just because there was some outcry, because that's just ridiculous, because it's not realistic. It's not what we need to see. What they set up in this first season was fine, was perfect, it was exciting, it was fun. It wasn't a perfect show. It wasn't, there's definitely issues with it, but it was a good show. It was exciting. And I wanted to see every single episode, and I got through it in a couple days. That's what the beauty of this show is. So I don't know. What did you think of this show? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Did you check it out? Let me know in the comments. And what do you think? Was Fallout gay enough? Was it not gay enough? Do you want it to be more gay? Do you? Do you really? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. With all that said, I'll catch you all later.